What's up, everybody? How is everybody doing? Hopefully everybody's staying warm. Snow is still falling here. I'm not exactly sure how much snow we've gotten. Probably in the 10 to 12 inch range. Something like that. It just stopped falling where you're at in Virginia. Yeah, it's been a big one. All right, I'm going to show you guys the case real quick. And then we're going to obviously bust this thing open. So stand by while I'm working on that. It'll take just a moment here to pop this thing. Oh, it just feels right. Pardon my reach while we do this. Just gonna stack them up. Big and tall. I was gonna say big and tall like me, but I just got the big, not the tall part. Two to three. Yeah, we're supposed to get snow until, I think, about 7 o'clock is when it's supposed to stop, basically. Oh, I need a piece of tape for my list, and then we'll be ready to rock and roll. All right. All right, so here is our owner list for today's break. And I'm missing payments from quite a few folks. I attribute that partly to the fact that we filled the break pretty quick. And normally I would have said, hey, we're going to wait and do the break later on this evening. But I figured if we're going to fill it that fast and I don't have anything else going on, I might as well go ahead and knock it out, right? So I attribute that to part of why we're missing quite a few spots being paid. But I'll just read through them real quick. We're missing Mike Ciano, Jacob Hartwig, Michael Clay, J.J. Poyer, Gavin Jennings, Brooks Hauser, James Ward, Todd Colvin, and Brian Kessler. So, that is our list. Busy plowing and missed this. Enough time for another National Snow Day. I haven't even been watching the game. I don't even know what the score was. I was watching the Ohio State women's basketball game, and all good, Brooks. I was watching the Ohio State women's basketball game, and they were getting smoked, and so I turned it off and was busy dealing with break stuff. So, yeah, I don't have a clue where we're at as far as the football game. If you're telling me Denver's winning, I'm going to go cry somewhere, because I will not hide any fact that I can't stand Denver. Absolutely can't stand Denver. So, all right, so here's all of our blaster boxes. Let me pull back and show you guys the mountain that's behind me, or in front of me, I should say. That's all of them. And I do have a Bad Monkey bonus box. And what I thought I'd do is I thought we'd do this at the end. I can tell you there's some decent cards in this. I tried to make this, knowing that we're probably not going to have a lot of autographs out of these blasters. I tried to make this heavier on autos and better stuff. So we can save this for the end, and we'll do this last and see if that makes up for somebody's break or not. So, all right, let's get into these. 30 cards per blaster. I almost forgot Little Rip. And I think what I'm going to do is each one of these, I'm just going to go through and open all the packs all at once. All right, good luck, everybody. Here we go. Blue Ice, Richard Petty. I think it's Blue Ice and green are the parallels that are in this. We should look at the box real quick. Blue Ice parallels are blaster exclusives. But I think there's green also. I'm going to point you guys down. I got you guys way up in the sky here. Get you down here where you can see at least a little bit better. Yeah, and there's green. Cody Ware. Blue Ice, Tyler Reddick. Red Pulsar, Corey Day. That is 39 out of 199. Going to Lewis. So what's going on with the game since I haven't been watching? Is it Is Denver that good, even with the backup, or is New England just playing terribly? Silver Reddick. Then we're going green on the Dale Earnhardt Jr. I think on your camera this green almost looks teal, but it's very much green. Has had 12 offensive plays. I'm rooting for New England personally. I'm rooting for New England because, you know, we've got Ohio State ties with Vrabel, and I genuinely on the franchise list of franchises that I 100% dislike, the University of Michigan is at the very top, and they are 1A, and then 1B is Denver Broncos for me. So sounds like Scott Dixon's about to crash out. I don't even think they need to make it about the quarterback, you know. Just, I felt like New England was a better team. I just genuinely thought they were better. Let's bring out, so since we got blue and green parallels, let's bring out blue and green card stands. Matt DiBenedetto. Blue Ice, Eric Jones. Pot of Gold, Larson. Blue Ice, Jeff Gordon. Silver, Haley Deegan. We got a green Jeff Gordon. Put a couple on the stands here just to have something back there. How about a red Pulsar Victory Lane Brandon Jones? Going to Scott. That is 114 out of 199. Blue Ice, Ty Dillon. Silver, Jeff Gordon. We got a Blue Ice, Eric Jones. Let's put him right there. And then we're going to have red Pulsar Casey Kane going to Dale. 171 of 199. All right, next up. Empty box. What are the bigger hits in these? I don't know that there's really anything exclusive to blasters other than the parallel colors. And of course, if you can pull an auto of those parallel colors. I think the black finite. Is a blaster exclusive. Let me look at the box. Blaster exclusive, 101 black finite. So yeah. So that's the only way you're going to get a black finite is in a blaster. But color blasts, of course, you can get in anything. Blue Ice, Michael McDowell. I wouldn't, I don't use that term case hit because I just don't believe in it. We proved that last Sunday. So, green, Nick Sanchez. We got the blue ice, Denny Hamlin. I don't know if anybody saw his interview. I'm not sure they could have picked a worse person than Bob Pockgrass to interview Denny. But I also don't make any bones about the fact that I really don't care for Bob Pockgrass either. So I just think his reporting is incredibly dry. There's just no personality there. 101 of 199. McDowell going to Jordan. Blue Ice, Casey Kane. But Denny, of course, very somber in his interview. A little more somber than I expected, to be honest. It's probably the lowest point I've seen Denny at. Lower than, obviously, after the championship game, or championship race. Silver Ty Gibbs. He's in a tough spot, for sure. With everything that's happened, losing his dad, his parents' house, his mom. Green, Ty Gibbs. Nice color match. Got Carson Hocevar on the blue ice. Tony Breidinger, silver. And Ross. I don't know why those packs don't want to come out of the box. They're small packs. They're very loose in the box. I don't understand why they want to hang up in there. Got a green Bubba Wallace. You guys know how it is with football, though. All it takes is a momentum shift. You know? Momentum is key. All it's going to take is one big swing. Blue Ice, Sam Mayer. Luke Fenhouse, Blue Ice. Chase Briscoe, Silver. Green, Danica Patrick. If you got an auto in 3 of them, that's pretty good, Mike. Part of why I like to do these blaster cases is to show everybody, you know, kind of what you're getting when you're buying blasters, you know. 50 out of 199. It kind of has multi-functions because, for one, it helps folks fill out their rainbow collections that they're trying to do. You know, get some key parallels that you need. 2, it's a fairly affordable price point for a break. And then 3, it gives everybody a visual on what do these blasters look like when you open them, you know, and what can you expect. So that when you are somewhere that has blasters available, you know, you can make an educated decision on how many you want to buy, if you want to buy any, you know, etc. Blue Ice, Joey Logano. And then we got a red Pulsar, Alex Bowman. $197 or $199 for Bowman, going to Carl. Empty. I would tell most anybody when it comes to blasters most of the time, it's not going to be a money-making situation. You know what I mean? Like, typically you're not going to probably, even a case, but typically you're probably not going to buy, you know, 2 or 3 or 4 blasters and break even or make money. You're probably, most of the time, going to be in a backward situation. But like I said, it's kind of important to do this for the folks that are collecting parallel sets, rainbows, or just looking for a fairly cheaper entry point for a break. Because you do get a lot out of this case as far as parallels. I mean, we got a nice stack of parallels already. So, and it is a lot of cards in general. Whoa. All right. Blue Ice, Josh Berry. This is another different one. Blue Pulsar, Frankie Muniz. I don't think we've gotten red or blue Pulsars in hobby. That is 19 out of 75 for Frankie going to Seth. So in reality, there's 4 different parallels in these that we're not getting in the hobby, because you got the green, blue ice, blue Pulsar, red Pulsar. And then, of course, the black finite. Green, Connor Zilic. Blue Ice, Casey Kane. You have Chase Elliott with the Blue Ice. Carl Edwards, silver. I actually feel like you might get more silvers in the blasters than you do hobby, because you don't get a lot of silvers. Green, Kurt Busch. And we got Ross Chastain. I think that's the second Ross, if I'm not mistaken. Red Pulsar going to Steve Teskey. 100 out of 199. Yeah, that's the second one of those. Raja Caruth, Blue Ice. Sounds like the refs are not doing any favors. Silver, Ross Chastain and Jimmy. Empty box. Grab a drink of tea real quick. They score. So does that make it 7-7 now? Seven, 7. I'm telling you, all it takes is some momentum. Maybe that's the momentum they needed. Blue Ice, Kevin Harvick. Yeah, a lot of repeats. Yeah, you get that a lot with blaster cases. You'll get a lot of repeaters. Casey Kane, because what it is certain drivers and certain cards, they are only in they're only in blasters, basically. 178 to 199. So you're going to see those pop up. Oh, we got a green Pulsar back there. Maybe that's a short print. That'd be good. Green, Jeremy Clements. If I remember, they used to be like out of 25. Pot of Gold, Corey Day. Green Pulsar. Yeah, 22 of 25. All right. That's decent. Corey Day going to Lewis. Yeah, Michael John, that's what I'm going to do. That's part of why I wanted to go ahead and get this thing going. Because it's supposed to stop snowing here at like 7, and then I think I'm going to go out and start working on shoveling tonight and see if I can make some headway. So I got to get us shoveled, and then I'll have to hit my mom's house, and then my grandma and aunt live down the street from us. And then I usually try to take care of my neighbor if she needs it, and then also my mom's neighbor. So I got my hands full. So I'm going to get a start on it. Blue Ice, Frankie Muniz. But I told my wife, I said, I'm not starting until the snow stops. Like, there's no point in going out and working on it until it's done. Silver Ross. So that's my grand plan. Green Prizm, Dale Jr. Yeah, I don't have a snowblower, so it's the old-fashioned way. Legs, back, arms, brute, muscle. Good old American horsepower. Blue Pulsar Danica, 29/75. Danica's going to go to Brian. They've already canceled school here for the next 2 days. But what we're dealing with here beyond the snow is bitter cold temps, below zero. So, chilly 80 degrees, Dale says, down in Florida, South Florida. Silver Lane Riggs. I forget where you're at, Dale. Is it like West Palm? Are you in West Palm or like Fort Lauderdale, something like that? I forget exactly. Yeah. That's what I thought. Balmy 80 degrees in Dale's backyard. Well, go out there and get yourself a suntan for us. Truth be told, I like Ohio's weather, though. I like the change in seasons that we get. There's some people that, depending on where they are born and where they live, they never see, like, some people never see the beach, some people never see snow. I'm glad that we basically experience all 4 seasons here in Ohio every year. Blue Ice, Ross Chastain. And we got our first autograph. There we go. Green Prizm Sensational Signatures. Brent Cruz with the autograph. That's going to go to Dwayne Coates. Nice. That one is not numbered. I was kind of expecting it to be numbered. Not numbered, but still, we'll take the auto. We'll take that for sure. I'm going to move Denny off his blue stand. I know that doesn't really make sense, but it is what it is. Red Pulsar Austin Dillon. We'll go to Michael Clay. $36/199. Oh, yeah, we have days like that here, for sure. Yep. We can go from 20 degrees to 70 degrees in a moment's notice here. Green, Kurt Busch. Jake Garcia, Blue Ice. Going to James. Snow in the morning and yeah, exactly. Blue Ice, Austin Dillon. Caden Honeycutt, silver. Green, Luke Fenhouse. Luke. Got another red Pulsar, Victory Lane, Brandon Jones. Going to Scott. I think that's number 2 on the Brandon Jones red. Kenny Wallace. Blue Ice. Silver, Frankie Muniz. And Austin Beers to finish that off. All right, let me move some cards out of the way. I just don't want the stacks getting too tall where I can't manage them, you know. Empty box. Yeah, that would have been cool, Scott. Bit of a momentum yeah, that can inject some life into your defense, you know, when they see the offense put one in the end zone, you know, then all of a sudden the defense is like, well, if we go out and do our job, we can take the lead in this thing. My dad's famous phrase with sports was always, if you can tie it, you can win it. Seems like a little bit of an obvious statement, but anybody that's played sports knows the psyche behind that. You know, when you're coming from behind, it's not a matter of getting close. You gotta tie the score. Once you've done that, then you feel like, all right, now it's ours, you know, to take it, so to speak. Blue Ice, Frankie. Huh. That's funny. So we got the Blue Ice Frankie, and then right behind him, red Pulsar Frankie. Frankie Muniz goes to Seth. And that is 157 of 199. Oh, okay. Okay. Look what we got here. We might have stumbled onto something pretty solid here, boys and girls. We got a green Hayden Deegan, but we'll get back to that in a second. Chase Elliott, Color Blast. Paul Ricciardi, how you doing today? You forget about that bet you made already? There we go. We'll take that. Color Blast, Chase Elliott. That doesn't suck at all. You want to send that to PSA, Paul? Because if you do, I'm not going to put it in a mag. I'm going to wait a second because if you want to grade that, I'm not going to put it in a mag. I'm going to put it in a penny sleeve and then a semi-rigid, and we're going to have it ready to roll Sure do. Okay, then that's what we're going to do. If you want to grade it, I'm not putting it in some, you guys know how I feel about that. Less movement, the better. Congrats, congrats, congrats. Heck yeah, man, I'd send it. I don't see any significant, obvious issues with it, so I say send it. I'm going to sit this back here behind me where I can't run into it, bump it, anything else. When we do the recap later, you won't see it, but it's back there. Full send. Well, we'll start the next sub with your color blast. February sub is started officially with Paul. Hayden Deegan green. Congrats, man. That's awesome. Really happy for you. You were due for something. Green Pulsar Josh Berry. That is 8 out of 25. Let's swap him out for Corey. Yeah, I'm on board with it. After that hot stinky dog turd of a hobby case we had last week, we're due for a good blaster case. So I don't see any reason why we can't find a black finite. Blue Ice, Ryan Newman. Silver case, Kurt Busch, or silver Prizm. I'm reading while I'm talking. Case is already better, yeah. Put the green Deegan in the grading pile also. The Hayden Deegan? All right, no problem, Anthony. Hayden's going back here with Chase Elliott. Yes, sir. Green Brent Cruz. And then we got a blue Pulsar, Jeff Gordon for Gavin. $47 out of 75. Blue Ice, Cole Custer for Dwayne. There's a silver Chase Elliott. And Corey Heim. Corey Heim. Let me open some more penny sleeves. Back here. I will get a schedule for this week posted. But my plan is to post a... Normally I don't post breaks on Mondays, but I'm aware that there's going to be a lot of people home tomorrow and off work / bored maybe. So I'm going to post a break tomorrow at empty box. Tomorrow at 3 p.m. And it'll be a Donruss 5 hobby box break. Another one that's, fairly affordable, cheap and dirty kind of thing. So tomorrow at 3 o'clock Eastern, which is noon Pacific for the West Coasters, but 3 p.m. Eastern, I'll post a Donruss break And then on Tuesday, I will be posting a Prizm Hobby 4-box break. Probably, I don't know if it'll be 7 or 7:30, but I'll have it on the schedule. So I figured we'd add in an extra break for Monday since I think a lot of folks are going to be just sort of hanging out. You want to pull me a Color Blast and Downtown same week? Hey, you know what, Paul? We could do worse things, couldn't we? We could do worse. Why not? Blue Ice, Justin Allgaier. We got a green Daniel Dye. I'll probably set up a Bad Monkey box with Donruss tomorrow also. Why not us? Exactly. Blue Ice, Ben Rhodes, Mama Jamma. We got the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Red Pulsar on my favorite insert. 186 of 199. Dale Jr. goes to Andrew Bly. SVG Blue Ice. Silver Caden Honeycutt. And we got a green Butterbean Queen. It's called Mike Doesn't Know How to Say the Word. That's what it's called. Blue Ice, Ryan Blaney. Silver, Richard Petty. And Hocevar. All right, we got 10 after this one. We'll be at the halfway mark. We'll have 10 left after this one. How much time is left in the... Is it halftime yet in the Denver-New England game? Or where are they at in that? I want to say, didn't the game start at 3? So it should be close to halftime, or halftime tied 7-7. Okay. Good deal. Blue Ice, Alex Bowman. Jesse Love, green. Then we're going to go Blue Ice Brent Cruz. Both teams missed a field goal to end the half. Of course they did. Another red, Frankie Muniz, Pulsar. That should go to Seth, I think. Yeah, Seth Whitesides. 160 out of 199 this time. Corey Day, Blue Ice. Silver, Kyle Larson. Now it's going to, if it's halftime and it's tied, now it's, it's a whole new game, and it's going to be who can make the best adjustments at halftime and come out of the locker room ready to play, Got a blue Christopher Bell. That's a nice color match with his Interstate Batteries car. Blue Ice Matt Kenseth. And silver Tyler Reddick. Cole Custer finishes that one off. All right, now that's officially halfway. We got 10 to go, plus the Bad Monkey bonus box at the end. The empty. Going Blue Ice, Kyle Busch. Corey Heim, green. Blue Ice, Justin Haley. We're just about back to race season, guys. A week from today, we get to see some race cars on the racetrack. 67 of 199, Bubba, red Pulsar. Going to Brandon Palmer. Blue Ice, Ryan Blaney. Don't forget fantasy racing. We've got the 2 different options for fantasy racing this year. Basically, we need everybody to be in and paid by February 14th, which is the day before Daytona. Green, Carson Hocevar. Blue Ice, Brandon Jones. And silver, Austin Dillon. Denny. I'm really curious to see how Daytona plays out this year. You know, there was some aggressive moves at the end of every stage usually, and I'm curious to see if guys will back off of that a little bit, if they're going to be content to just ride around a little more till the end, to the final stage. I am very curious to see how that plays out. I would very much like to see NASCAR find a way to prevent them from running half throttle at these super speedways. I don't know the exact way you fix that, if it's just a smaller gas tank to where you force them to have to pit. But I don't like the fuel mileage races where it's, you know, we're going to ride around for 50 laps at half throttle. I don't think that's good for the fans. Blue Ice, Denny. And we got Victory Lane, Red Pulsar, Jesse Love. No fueling under caution. Yeah, 121 and 199. Red Pulsar. Some will call me crazy, but I would be okay if they went to a format where if you're under caution, if you want to pit, you can pit. As long as you're back lined up, you know, in time. But they don't hold the green flag for people because they're in the pits. You know, whenever they have an accident on the road or whatever and they get the track clear, they're going green. It's not, well, we got 15 cars in the pits. That's their choice. We're going green, you know. Blue Ice, Austin Dillon. But yeah, no fueling under caution would also probably solve that to a degree. Or just no caution for the stages. That would also solve the problem, yeah. Blue Ice, AJ Allmendinger. I think there's a lot of ways you could go. Carson Quapple, Silver. Todd Gilliland, purple. Green. Blue. Orange. I said purple. I thought somebody would be like, Mike, that's not purple. Blue Ice, Pot of Gold, Christopher Bell. It wasn't a stroke, it was a test. Everybody failed. 11 of 75. C. Bell goes to JJ. We got Jack Wood on the Blue Ice. Get over there. Behave yourself. Silver, Zane. And Richard Petty. The more I think about the stage points, the more I think I just don't like stage points at all. Like I would be fine if they just said, hey, we're going to have, we're going to have 2 or 3 stages to the race, and there's going to be a competition, caution thrown at the end of those stages, but there's no points involved. I almost would be more on board for that, I think. Because I don't know if I love it. I don't know if I love being rewarded for running good for part of the race. Or being in a certain position just at a certain moment in time. I don't know. The more I'm thinking about that in my head, I'm not sure how I feel about it. Blue Ice, Connor Zilich. Andrew says, I do. It's a race within a race with points. Yeah, I get that. Yep, I can see it. That's a strong argument for it. Sensational Signatures green, Cody Ware. Cody Ware goes to James Holland in the unlisted spot. Got our second auto out of this case. Cody Ware. I guess we'll swap him out for Josh Berry to put all the ink up there. And then we got a red Pulsar, Tony Breidinger. Going to Lewis. 98 of 199. Adds more strategy. Yeah. No, I get it. It was one of those where I'm just sort of sitting here thinking about it. I'm like, I don't know if I love that, But, I guess my other thought is, racing's all about how you finish the race, right? So if, say you win the first stage and the second stage and then crash, you're going to have gotten a lot more points than somebody that, maybe scraped and clawed their way to 20th, but finished the race, And I always feel like you should be rewarded for finishing the race. So, I don't know. But I can see both sides. I mean, I'm not saying they should get rid of it necessarily. I'm just kind of thinking out loud here. I think the important move that I love this year, and I think it was a huge move, was giving the race winner 55 points. I think that is big. That adds emphasis to winning under the new points structure and format, and I think that was a home run decision, whoever made that decision. Silver, Kyle Larson. I think a lot of us can agree that we got a much better format to start this year than we had last year, and I think we're all excited about that for sure. I know I'm fired up about it. Gio Ruggiero green. Red Pulsar, Michael McDowell. Going to Jordan. 192 of 199. No, NASCAR doesn't want long green flag runs, that's for sure. They want shorter runs, guaranteed certain commercial breaks, and I think more importantly is they like the drama of the restarts and what that brings to the table. Silver, Justin Allgaier. you know, anybody that knows racing knows the old phrase, cautions breed cautions. And unfortunately, TV, and there's a lot of people out there that are just wowed by cautions and wrecks and carnage. There's a certain number of people that will watch Daytona just excited and waiting for the big wreck. And I mean no disrespect to anybody when I say it, but that's not a race fan in my opinion. If the thing you're rooting for most is a big wreck, that's not a race fan. Started snowing in Denver now. Oh, man. That might play to New England's. Of course, they're both cold weather. I was just thinking New England might be built more for it, but who knows? Blue ice, Bubba. We got a green Haley Deegan. She's back. JR, I get it. I'm not a big fan of wishing wrecks on anybody, but I'll certainly, there's been plenty of times where I've wished somebody would blow an engine or cut a tire or have a brake caliper issue or, a battery failure where they just lose a lap or two and ruin the race. I'm with you. I understand where you're at. Red Pulsar Corey Day going to Lewis. 144 or 199. Got a blue ice Connor Zilic. Silver Riley Herbst. I feel like there's a lot less blown engines these days than there used to be. Speaking of that, you know what I mean? It used to be, man, there were some races where you'd have, 2 or 3 or 4 guys blow an engine, and it was not uncommon for, somebody to do that once a week or every other week. So, blue ice Ross. I just feel like that occurs less these days. Silver Bubba. Maybe it's because engine builders are better. Maybe it's because, they're not putting out as much horsepower as they did back then. They're not at their full limits. Maybe. I don't know. You could attribute that to a couple of things, I would say. All right. Last 6 blasters. Empty. For my wrestling fans, Saturday we will do the Royal Rumble wrestling break. And I got to figure out what time I'm going to post that because the Rumble's early. It's like in the afternoon. I won't be able to watch it because I don't have the ESPN app. I don't have the ability to watch it. So I'll have to kind of follow along on social media, on Twitter or whatever, and see kind of where they're at. Maybe I can watch somebody's pirated version on TikTok for a little bit or something. But anyway, for the wrestling folks, Saturday, what I was thinking or what I'm looking at is doing a box of Topps Chrome Sapphire and a box of the Topps Chrome Cactus Jack. So one box of each of those is what I was looking at for the Rumble break on Saturday. And then I'll probably do wrestler groups is going to be the plan. Green, Austin Cindric. Usually we did 20 groups for wrestling breaks because there's just so many. So I don't know what that comes out to from a price-wise. Probably, I'm guessing it's going to be like $35 a spot or something like that. Blue Ice, Tony Breidinger. But, you know, those are two expensive-ish boxes. There's nothing cheap in wrestling anymore, unfortunately. The day Topps took over, the prices just went... 102/199, Jesse Love, Red Pulsar Victory Lane. Going to James Holland again. Second one of those. Got Jimmy Johnson showing up. Blue Ice. Silver Noah Gragson. If you're within a couple hours of Columbus, Ohio, I'll be at the Grove City Card Fest on Sunday set up. It's a pretty big card show. It's about 250 tables, or maybe even 280 tables. And I want to say it's like either 50 or 80 tables of Pokemon and TCG stuff. And then the other big gym where I'll be at sports cards, there's 200 tables of sports. So, big show. Blue Ice, Danica Patrick. Silver SVG. Matt Kenseth. But if you're close enough where you can, you know, drive to Columbus and go back home the same day, it's definitely worth checking out. It's a massive card show. Blue Ice, Cole Custer. And you got blue Pulsar Daniel Dye. $18/75. Die goes to Jordan Hansen. Green Prizm Parker Retzlaff. They must have started the second half of the game because everybody got quiet. Blue Ice Austin Beers. Lane Riggs Blue Ice. Silver Kevin Harvick. Belongs to Ronnie. Green Carson Hocevar. Got a red Pulsar Jack Wood going to James in the unlisted spot. I think that's the second one of those. 45/199. I'm hoping we can find at least one more auto. 3 autographs and a color blast wouldn't be a bad, really wouldn't be awful for a Prizm blaster case. So that's kind of my hope. Blue Ice Gio Ruggiero. And then a really nice silver Connor Zilic. Very clean. Austin Cindric. All right, 4 to go. Empty. Blue Ice Chase Elliott. Pats take the lead, 10-7. That momentum. Once you got Mo on your side. Eric Jones, red Pulsar. Going to JR out of 199. Got a green Jeff Gordon. Blue Ice Frankie Muniz. Blue Ice Tyler Reddick. Brent Cruz, silver. We're going to go green, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Hasn't been, yeah, for sure. sometimes that's what you got to do, though. You know, you got to just grind it out. Red Pulsar, Casey Kane, 120 out of 199. It's going to go to Dale. Blue Ice, Harrison Burton. Silver, Alex Bowman. And Caden Honeycutt. All right, 3 to go. Mega? No, I don't think they've ever done megas of Prizm. There was talks about it, but to my knowledge, they did not do megas. If I'm correct, they've only done megas for Donruss and Select. I don't think they did megas for... Now, I could be wrong. Maybe they did and they just haven't released them yet. But I haven't seen or heard anybody talk about them yet. So... Doesn't mean it can't be. Yeah, Select megas are pretty decent, actually. Blue Ice, Daniel Suarez. Whoa, we're upside down. Why are we upside down? I must have put a whole pack in upside down. Green, Josh Williams. Got the Blue Ice J-Mac attack, Jamie McMurray. And then this is going to be a Red Pulsar Groovy, William Byron. It's going to Andrew Bly. $101 out of $199. Alex Bowman goes to Carl. Blue Ice. No megas for Prizm NASCAR, just NFL. Yeah. Green, Austin Beers. Blue Ice, Sheldon Creed. And a silver Cole Custer. I think after this box, I'm going to grab another pack of penny sleeves because I'm going to run out. I think I'm going to run out with needing just a couple. Luckily, they're easy to get to. right. This will be blaster number 19. Empty. When we get done, don't leave, because like I said, the bad monkey box, which I'll go ahead and bring it in as a reminder. We've still got that to do when we're done. And there's some nice stuff in there. Sheldon Creed, Austin Powers. Gets me every time. That's funny. Tell you what, makes a lot of trash when you open a blaster case. Zane Smith, Blue Ice. Goes to Jacob Hartwig. And we got a green Chandler Smith. Blue Ice, John Hunter Nemechek. Blue Pulsar, William Byron. Going to Andrew Bly. Paul said, but also cover the spread. 56/75. I don't really bet per se, although I've thought about it, and there's been a couple times in the past years where I've, done the, DraftKings or FanDuel or Bet365, whatever, and, but I can tell you that my preference, I don't like betting on the spreads at all. My personal preference is to bet to win. Money line straight up to win. Green Prizm Danica Patrick. And I also enjoy the parlays, especially when you feel like you can get, 3 or 4 or 5 games in a parlay that makes sense. So, but I don't have any like online betting apps or anything currently. I'm the type of gambler where if I win money, I'm out. So, if I make one bet and win money, then I'm like, withdrawal, done. I actually thought about doing a whole thing where each week for the football season, putting a $5 bet on one game. And just, starting with, say you start with $150 and just see how you can finish the season. Just betting, one game a week, $5 a week, how would you end up, Would you break even? Would you make some money? Would you lose? So. Maybe next year I'll do that if I feel like I got dollar bets. Yeah. Yeah, that's my wheelhouse for sure, Scott. That's my comfort zone. But maybe I'll do that next year. Maybe before the football season starts, I'll download an app and see if I can get some kind of promotion and, just do like the whole year, like pick a game every week or like one college game, one pro game or something like that and just see what happens. All right, this is the last one. Blue Ice, Jimmy Johnson. I was really hoping to see a third auto. Yeah, see, that's where I would get in trouble is if I was betting on stuff that I don't pay attention to. Like I don't watch a lot of men's college basketball or like baseball season. I don't really watch a lot of baseball other than I enjoy going to games, physically. But so it would basically be, football would be the only thing I'd probably be comfortable betting on, I guess. Blue Ice, Spencer Boyd. Red Pulsar, Victory Lane, Jesse Love. I think that's the third one of those tonight. Going to James. 117 or 199. I wonder if you can bet on the Olympics. I bet you can. Any of you guys that have been on those apps during the Olympics, are you allowed to? Maybe you can't because it's not a professional sport. I don't know. Are you allowed to bet on like who will win the gold medal or something like that? Blue Ice, Ryan Preece. Silver, William Byron. Got a green, Kyle Busch. Butterbean, blue, cracked ice. We got a silver, Cole Custer. And that's going to just about do it. Todd Gilliland polishes us off. All right, let me get some stuff moved here real quick, and then we're going to do the Bad Monkey box. And call her a day. All right. Again, and I guess I should tell everybody, not everything in here is a Prizm because 2025 Prizm, I don't have much of anything really here on consignment right now. And I haven't opened any myself. So a lot of this is Prizm, but it's not current year, and there might be one or two cards that aren't Prizm at all. But still good stuff. So that's the idea, is to just supplement the break. Add some value to the break is what I'm looking for here. I think I can get rid of gloves, too. I think I can be done with the gloves. Actually, I'll just move these guys. All right, so here we go. Bad Monkey box. We've got a white sparkle Terry Labonte. White sparkle Terry Labonte goes to Brian D. And then we're going to have silver sensational signatures Josh Williams. That belongs to J.R. Tipple. Josh Williams goes to JR. We got a red Sensational Signatures Eric Jones going to JR. Ha, that's funny. JR with 2 autos back-to-back out of the Bad Monkey box. That's funny. Silver Sensational Signatures Christian Eckes also going to JR. Now, wait a second. Wait just a damn minute, JR. 3 autos in a row, all to JR. I know this one doesn't go to JR. How about a gold optic Kyle Busch? Optic gold Kyle Busch. That is from 2021 Donruss. So that is from a really expensive year of Donruss as well. Kyle Busch goes to Brooks Hauser with the gold optic. And then we got Silver Sensational Signatures Tony Breidinger autograph. That's going to go to Lewis. Everybody's calling rigged. They're coming for you, JR. Run, run. Tony B. We got a blue patented penmanship, Carl Edwards. Carl Edwards is also JR. You have got to be kidding, JR. Out of 49. 4 hits out of the Bad Monkey box, all to different drivers, all to JR. They're going to be coming with pitchforks. Purple Velocity Spotlight Signatures, Corey Heim. Who's got Corey Heim? If it's JR, I give up. Corey Heim is James Holland. James Holland with the Corey Heim. And that's numbered out of 99. Next, we've got a zebra print Prizm rookie Daniel Dye. Daniel Dye will go to Jordan Hansen with the zebra. And last but not least, how about a red, white, and blue signing sessions, Brad Keselowski going to Michael Harrion. That is from 2019 Prizm. Is it 19 or 18? My eyes are so freaking old. 19. So, hopefully the Bad Monkey box added a little extra something for everybody there. I don't think there's a big need to go back through and do a recap because most everything was right there at the end of the video with the Bad Monkey box with the exception of just a couple of cards. Now, of course, we did have the Color Blast Chase Elliott. The reason it's not being shown again is because it's off to PSA. So, anytime somebody hits something and they tell me they want to send it to PSA, I immediately go into the least amount of times that I have to move that card, the better it is. So, that's the deal with the Chase Elliott Color Blast that we just pulled. So again, I will get a schedule posted a little bit later this evening for this week. But tomorrow we will add a break at 3 p.m. It'll be a 5-box Donruss break. And I wouldn't be upset to see a 10-box Monkey box break. Kyle Willis, you're in luck. Not this Thursday, but next Thursday, a week from Thursday, I am doing a repack break, and that's essentially what it is. We've done, this will be our 6th repack break. It's not this Thursday, but next Thursday. But essentially it's the same thing. I just go through and pull some nice hits and nice cards and a good mixture of stuff, and I build a checklist, and if your driver is on the checklist, you're guaranteed to at least get a numbered card. No matter what. But I would highly recommend that repack break to anybody that's looking for, some nice guarantees. If you're a baller on a budget, you can't beat it. So that is a week from Thursday. Next Thursday we'll do that. But I will do the Bad Monkey Box again tomorrow with Donruss. And I will tell everybody that it will be Donruss only cards in the Bad Monkey Box. So keep that in mind for tomorrow as well. And that's all I got. Hope everybody has a great rest of your Sunday. Go Pats. I hope they win. I'm going to go upstairs and watch the rest of the game. And then a little later on, I'm going to have to go out and do some shoveling. So everybody stay safe, stay warm, and we will see you guys next time.